Well, EDUT 520, I am very, very excited to start week one with all of you guys. I hope, even though it is the start of the class tonight, that many of you have got into the welcome videos. Real quick, I'm not going to spend time going through them, but if you go all the way down to the bottom, I went over more of these in detail in the welcome video, but just to reemphasize, here's all your due dates. You can find them in probably a dozen different places, but a quick way to get to them is you scroll to the bottom of your announcement feed and they're going to be down there. I also did a few videos on tips and tricks that will really help you set yourself up for success. The big ones, really Grammarly, submitting assignments, Google Docs sharing. Actually, those three of the four are really important to just take the 20 minutes to go through. You're going to get a lot of information that's going to help you out there. The library orientation assignment, more information to come on that, but the big thing to remember on that is it's synchronous, meaning you have to be online at a very specific time. We'll get that time out to you quick, hopefully within the next week. And then the third project is a group project, and groups will be coming out soon. So I just wanted to remind you of those really quick. So like I try to do every week, starting off with a quote. This one's from just a mental genius, Hansel from Zoolander. Do I know what I'm doing today? No, but I'm here and I'm going to give it my best shot. And there's so much truth and so much wisdom in that phrase, even though it's a silly movie that, depending on what camp you're in, you either love it or you think it's really stupid. But we're super hyper scheduled in this world. In our field, there's going to be meetings upon meetings upon meetings and just way more tasks than time. Showing up and giving it your best that day is really what we need to do. And your best today may be different than your best tomorrow. So I just wanted to give you that quick reminder. As we jump into the course, I'm going to bounce around from tab to tab and go through some stuff. I don't need to really read everything word for word because you definitely can do that. Just know that there's a few things if you haven't done yet, go to Meet Your Instructor. You can find all my contact information and a little bit more about me, and really spend some time. I know you're early in your progress of your course, just getting used to Blackboard. The better you become with Blackboard, the easier this program is going to be for you. And so all the information you can find under schedule week to week. So we're going to bounce around for week one. And you can see I have everything kind of labeled out here in the announcement. I'm going to put everything in the announcement every week, ending with looking ahead, assignments for the week, due dates, your discussion boards. Remember, you can find all that stuff in lots of different places. But I'm also going to open up week one and pop over there for you guys. And so this is going to go through your learning outcome, what's due for the day. This video will be right there. Your content for the day, discussion boards, look ahead, due dates. So I'm going to kind of go through that first. If you need to find the syllabus, you're going to click right there, and that's going to get you to your syllabus. And a couple quick things. If you scroll down, it's going to have week to week where all the assignments and everything, any link you need is going to be there. And then at the very, very bottom of that is this program course policies. Really look at plagiarism and turning in work late are going to be two of the really big ones to take a quick look at. So for your content for this week, you have chapters 1 and 2 in the book. Once again, this is a dense book. So chapter 1 goes through just an overview of the field of curriculum, which, there's a lot of different approaches from behavioral all the way down to postmodern approach. You're going to need to really kind of understand the different approaches to answer some of the questions throughout this course. Challenges, backlash, all that kind of good stuff. Your role as the teacher, your role as a student, your role as a parent, just all the different parts and people and stakeholder groups within that. And then chapter 2, you go into philosophical foundations. Once again, knowing these basic terms is going to be really important for the duration of this course. And so this book is not, I'm not going to be honest with you, is not an easy read. It's really dense. There's a lot of information in there, but it's a lot of good information. So plan your week out accordingly. A couple of chapters is going to take you some time to read for sure, but going through idealism all the way down to existentialism, and those are the major. Then you have your educational philosophies, and so how they relate to the educational world. And so actually chapter 2, in my opinion, it was a little bit easier to digest than chapter 1. So give yourself some time for those. And then you're also going to have 2 videos from Sir Ken Robinson. I've actually had the privilege to see him live a few different times, and I've heard bits and pieces of these talks live and got to listen to the Q&A. It's a great watch. Only 4 minutes for the first video. The second video is 20 minutes. It's a little bit longer, and he has a book, Do Schools Kill Creativity? He has a book about this topic as well. It's a very fascinating topic. Brought to you by TED Talks. If you don't subscribe, TED Talks on YouTube, the videos are great, but also the TED Radio Hour podcast is a great podcast that you can get a lot of information sort of in the kind of style of what Ken Robinson is doing. And so if you have a commute, I highly recommend. That's a great podcast to listen to on your commute. So that is your content for the week. So the 2 chapters, which once again, little heavy, and then the 2 videos, which are awesome. Proverbs, anything in Proverbs always get to just remind us a little bit. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are safe. On the flip side of starting with the quote from Zoolander, this actually has more weight behind it because it's from the Bible. Let's be honest. And so really when you, it kind of relates to that quote though, of when you can show up today and only give it your best shot. Some days you're weaker than others. Some days you're more tired than others. And what the great thing is it doesn't matter from day to day. We have a strength that we can rely on that can outweigh any type of strength on this earth or any type of challenge on this earth. So just a short little message there. Let's bop into the 2 discussion board questions. The first one is sort of like a meet and greet. And so just read through the bullet points there. Introduce yourself. How many courses have you taken? Many of you are right at the beginning. Where do you work? What do you teach? What do you plan to teach? What are your goals with teaching later in life? And then 3 words to describe your work ethic, 3 words that describe your personality, and 3 words that describe your interests. So there's a lot of 3 words going on there. I'm a bullet point guy. When I answer things like that, I bullet point. That doesn't mean you have to do it. Some people are more sentence form. That's totally fine. And then what current practices for designing curriculum, developing assessments, what approach does your school use versus what you use? And you can even give a little feedback on, what you would change if you could. So you reply to this and you don't attach a Word document, but you do it right into there. And then also if you want to go ahead and throw a photo up there, you are definitely welcome to throw a photo up there. So that is discussion board post 1. The second one is going to be based off of Ken Robinson's videos. And so they are very well known TED Talk. And so based on the concept of creativity in schools and the first one that he shares, philosophy of education, your assignment for the week then is to build your own philosophy of education statement. So you're watching those videos to kind of get an idea, to get your brain going. And then you're going to discuss key points that you believe are relevant and what resonated with you from the video. So this post is not a post of your philosophy education. That's the assignment, but it's kind of your summary of that, your thesis statement of that, and then talking about what resonated with the video, what do you agree with, what do you disagree with, that sort of thing. On the discussion board, if you ever have questions on, hey, they're 10 points each, how do I make sure I get my 10 points? Very first post is the rubric. And so you can open this rubric and it's going to take you through what is needed. Just like everything else in your program, everything is based off this rubric. And so really, there's not like say, hey, you need X amount of words, but you really need to throw out some original content from your brain and make sure it's of substance length, and then 2 responses for each peer's post. And so what I always tell students, it's wise to actually get your first post out Tuesday-ish, no later than Wednesday, because then you give yourself time to post on other people and other people to post on yours. And so the earlier in the week you get those out, the easier it's going to be able to have a give and take. And so you can read the rubric here, highly developed all the way to not relevant. Discussion posts, they're worth 10 points. There's a lot of them throughout the course. This is a big part of your grade, but more importantly, it's a big part of your learning. So make sure you're really giving them their due. And then we're going to bounce down to your assignment, which is your philosophy statement. Every assignment has an assignment doc that you can look at, and usually the grading rubric is either embedded or a separate one. And so Here's the big deal with this one, 2 pages. That means 2 pages of text, not 4 pages of text, not a page of text. So it's 2 pages of your actual thoughts and your statements based on your personal experience and all that kind of good stuff. So you need introduction, conclusion paragraphs, and you can read through there. You need at least one source from the week and one additional source, and everything we do is APA format. Including a title page and a reference page. So make sure you're hitting APA format. If you need help with that and you can't reach out to the writing lab, you can shoot me an email, but you can also use Google. There's so much on it. It says submit as a Word document. If you watch my video on how to use Google and then download as a PDF actually works really well too, because you can upload that right into the box as well. You can download Word, but sometimes the formatting gets off a little bit. So make sure you go over this in more detail. And then also here is your rubric. So looking at definitions of theories, following elements are included, connections are made to educational philosophies, and you can see 0 to 3 or 2.9, 3 to 3.9, all the way up to 5. And so that I grade everything pretty strictly off the rubric because that is your goal. Just like when we show our students a rubric, if you meet everything in this side, you're going to get 5s. If you're somewhere in here, you're going to get a 3 to 3.9. So if you have questions on that, make sure you reach out to me. Once again, email, text, you can give me a call, whatever works best for you. So that is week 1. I hope you guys are excited as I am for sure. And once again, here's what the announcement looks like. Once again, I have all the stuff bullet pointed. You can find it under week 1 tab, but you can also find it in the announcements. Looking ahead, next week there's chapters 3 and 4. It's quite a bit of reading again. The group presentation is due in week 3. We'll talk about that more next week, but I'll have groups made by the end of the week. And then the dates for the library orientation will be coming out soon. So those are the things that you need to look forward to. Due dates are right there as well. If you have any questions, once again, reach out to me. I hope everyone has a phenomenal week in their sites and has a great week learning. Thanks for allowing me to be a part of your trip here with 520.